Hello class, I am here again. My name is Ishaq. I am your English instructor. We have gone through the chapter 1 of the Charles Dickens novel, The Great Expectations. Today we have chapter 2 and we will have a focus on pronunciations. So I have got some words here in this chapter 2. We will have some practice of pronunciations. So I will make groups of you people and you will help one another. There will be one group leader. Like Umama will be the group leader of the three of you, and you, Abdullah, you will be the group leader of the other five persons you have. Okay, so let's start the chapter 2. Do you remember the chapter 1? What happened in the chapter 1? Yes, Abdullah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And how are you, Haram? Do you remember the task I have given to you? And what happened next to the events as explained by the Abdullah? Okay, yes, good, good, good. Okay, so let's start with chapter 2. My sister, Mrs. Georgardre, was more than 20 years old than I. She was two elder than him, 20 years old, and had established a great reputation with herself and the neighbors. Sorry, and neighbor because she had brought me up by hand. By hand is enclosed in quotation marks. This means that she was very harsh and very hard to deal with the Pip and her husband, Joe Garge. So let's have some practice of reputation, the word reputation and neighbor. Neighbor, I have, we can say, search the pronunciation of these. So let's have a bit practice of these two words. The first is like reputations. You can see reputations. The word is reputation. So reputation is the history of someone in a place, what he or she is having. So she had got some reputation, and there's also pronunciation of neighbor. Okay, the neighbor pronunciation is also given. So she has got some reputation. She was famous in her neighborhood by her harsh behavior. So he says that I have been brought up by hand, and as such, her husband as well. She was dealing her husband harsh as well. Okay. So next to that, having at that time to find out for myself what the expression meant, and knowing her to have a hard and heavy hand. She was having a heavy hand, means she was harsh, and and to be much in the habit of laying it upon her husband as well as upon me. She was using her hand for both of them, for the pip and as well as her husband. I suppose that George and I were both brought up by hand, as he's saying. So they were both brought up by hand. She was not a good looking woman, my sister, and I had a general impression that she must have made George marry her by hand. She's further saying that the George was made to have marry him by hand as well. Which means by force. She had got married to him. Joe was a fair man with curl of flaxen hair on her each side of his smooth face and with eyes of such a very undecided blue that they seemed to have somehow got mixed with their own whites. He was a mild, good natured, sweet tempered, easygoing, foolish, dear fellow, a sort of Hercules in strength as well as also in weakness. He was a very nice guy, the George. He was a foolish kind of easygoing, tempered person. Okay, my sister, Mrs. Joel, with black hair and eyes, had such a prevailing redness of skin that I sometimes used to wonder whether it was possible she washed herself with a nutmeg grater instead of soap. She was looking like she was having a red color on her face and other things. She was tall and bony and almost always wore a coarse apron fastened over her figure behind with two loops, okay, and having a square impregnable bib in front. It was apron so much. Though I really see no reason why she should have worn it at all, or why if she did wear it at all, she should not have taken it off every day of her life. She was wearing that always. Okay, so Joy's forge adjoined our house, which was a wooden house. The Joyce Forge, the Joyce, the blacksmith's smithy was near adjoined their house, which was a wooden house, as many of the dwellings in our country were. Most of them at that time. Okay. When I ran home from the churchyard, the forge was shut up and Joy was sitting alone in the kitchen. Joy and I, being fellow sufferers, they were suffering both. Fellow sufferer means they were suffering from his sister as both, and having confidences as such. They were